The hall was decorated with glittering balloons, silver streamers, and a cake so large it could feed 100 people. Yet in the center of that giant room sat a girl in a wheelchair, staring at the door, waiting. Her name was Emily Carter, daughter of one of the most powerful CEOs in the city. Her father had spared no expense for her 16th birthday, fountains of chocolate, music, a red carpet at the entrance. But as the minutes turned into hours, not a single invited guest showed up. Emily's hands tightened on her lap. She had rehearsed smiling for her friends, practiced blowing out her candles. But the truth pressed down on her chest. Since the accident that left her paralyzed, her so-called friends had slowly disappeared. No one wanted to be reminded of what she'd lost. Her father kept pacing by the door, furious. "How dare they disrespect us like this?" he muttered. But Emily didn't want anger. She wanted company, someone who truly cared. Just as her father reached for his phone to yell at someone, the big doors creaked open. Everyone turned, expecting a late-arriving guest in a glamorous dress. Instead, a small boy peeked inside. His shoes were worn, his shirt a little too big for him, clearly second-hand. In his hand, he carried a small paper bag. He stepped forward nervously and asked in a trembling voice, can I join you?" The security guard moved quickly, ready to shoo him away. But Emily spoke before anyone else. "Yes, please. Come in." The boy's name was Lucas. He wasn't on the guest list. In fact, he wasn't invited at all. He was the son of the building's janitor. He had been sweeping the floors downstairs when he heard the music echoing from the ballroom, and curiosity pulled him up the stairs. I brought you this," he said shyly, handing Emily the paper bag. Inside was a small cupcake with uneven frosting, clearly homemade. For a moment, the entire hall fell silent. The richest girl in the room was holding the simplest gift she had ever received. And for the first time that night, Emily smiled. Not the polite, practiced smile for cameras, but a genuine, glowing smile. Lucas didn't care about her wheelchair. He didn't care about her last name. He just saw a girl sitting alone on her birthday, and he wanted to be her friend. "Would you eat it with me?" Emily asked. Lucas nodded eagerly, and the two sat together, laughing as crumbs of the little cupcake fell onto her dress. One by one, the staff who had been standing awkwardly around the hall began to gather near. The DJ switched the music to something soft and cheerful. A waiter lit a candle and placed it on the cupcake, and suddenly Emily wasn't alone anymore. Her father watched in shock. All the money he spent couldn't buy his daughter this kind of happiness. A poor boy with nothing had given her more than all the wealthy families on his guest list. Tears filled Emily's eyes as she whispered, "This is the best birthday I've ever had." The emotional climax came when Emily leaned toward Lucas and said, "You're the first person who didn't look at my chair before looking at me. Thank you." And in that moment, her father realized something too. Wealth could fill a room, but only kindness could fill a heart. From that day on, Emily and Lucas became inseparable. She convinced her father to support Lucas's education, and in return, Lucas brought back something Emily had thought she had lost forever: friendship, laughter, and hope. Her accident had taken away her legs, but it hadn't taken away her spirit. And it took one boy's courage to remind her of that. Sometimes the people we least expect are the ones who bring us the greatest gifts, not diamonds, not gold, but genuine kindness. And that was the day Emily learned a truth that would stay with her forever. You don't need a crowd to feel celebrated. Sometimes one true friend is enough to change your world. The boy's small voice lingered in the air. "Can I join you?" And Emily's heart skipped a beat. She looked at him, his shoes scuffed, his shirt clearly handed down, his little hands clutching a paper bag as if it were something precious. Everyone expected her to say no, but instead she whispered, almost desperately, "Yes, please come in." Lucas walked forward, eyes wide at the grand hall, yet his focus stayed on Emily. He opened the bag and pulled out a single cupcake, lopsided with frosting that had clearly been spread by a child's hand. "I made this for you. I didn't know if I'd be allowed here," he said, almost apologizing. Emily's throat tightened as she accepted it. The CEO's daughter, surrounded by golden decorations and untouched silver platters of food, had just been given the most meaningful gift of her life. She couldn't stop smiling, really smiling, for the first time that evening. "Will you eat it with me?" she asked. Lucas's face lit up, and the two sat together as if no one else existed. They broke the cupcake in half, giggling when crumbs tumbled.